And good afternoon, everybody, and welcome here to our 11th race of the season here in Season 7 of the NNSCRA Oreo Truck Series. This is going to be a very interesting few races leading up to the All-Star race because 3 new tracks in these next 3 weeks will be making their debuts into the NNSCRA circuit. I was looking at the schedule. The tracks we were going to didn't look all that entirely interesting, so I ended up looking up some new tracks, and I found 3 very, very interesting tracks that we will be going to leading up to the All-Star race. So these drivers are going to be on a little bit of a learning curve here. A lot of them were prepared to go to these other 3 tracks that we were originally scheduled to go to and get themselves an opportunity to get into the All-Star race. Now they're going to not only have to try and get themselves a win and get into the All-Star race, but they're going to have to learn these tracks as the race progresses. So it's going to be very interesting. Our first track that we make a stop at is here today in the run of the Doritos 200, and this is Derek MotoDome Speedway. And so it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen here today. This track, basically considered an oval. It's got quite a bit of high banking in it where drivers are able to go 3 wide. The only thing that I have noticed is that the sun has been beating down continually on today's racetrack, and I don't know just exactly how much grip there may be in those corners. We'll find out during the course of today's races. On the pole position is going to be Sean Galligan. Galligan looking for his first win since Season 5. He was winless all Season 6. He's been winless so far. However, he's been pretty consistent in the Blue Deuce. He's currently 16th in the current points, and we'll see what he could do starting on the pole position. Alongside of him, Jean Sanford, still looking for her first win of the season, but her consistency has certainly paid off as she is 3rd in the points and 2nd in rookie points, only 4 points back from the rookie points leader Tanner Sullivan. A good qualifying spot of 2nd for the 27 Menards Chevrolet Silverado here today. Lining up in row number 3, that's going to be James McLeod. McLeod comes into this race 20th in points. He, like Sean Galligan, got off to a rocky start this season, but has been picking up some good positions in the last couple of weeks and is now up inside the top 20 in points. He may be able to continue to press his way forward with a good run here today, and alongside of him is going to be Season 1 Oreo Truck Series champion Jake Rogers, or actually, I'm sorry, Season 2 champion, I should say, and he is 29th in points. Not exactly been having the best of starts to the season and really not been able to keep enough consistency to keep him up there in the standings, but it's a race sponsored by Doritos, and Doritos sponsors his Ford F-Series, so maybe he may pull off a little bit of luck here today. And alongside of, then in row number 5 is going to be rookie Isaac Canepa. Canepa came in mid-season. He's up to 32nd in the point stands and a good qualifying run here today. Canepa has been to Victory Lane, the Mobile Cup Series event that was last year, and he'll start off alongside of Kyle Thomas, who started off the season finishing 2nd place to Tanner Sullivan at Daytona. Since then, he has stayed inside the top 10 all season long. He is 9th in the points, and yet another good qualifying result for that Roush Fenway Ford. But it's time to get these cars rolling off, and as I said at the Infineon race, the Snickers Cup Series Infineon race, we no longer jump aside for you to be able to see your starting lineup. Instead, while these drivers go around this racetrack, we show you your starting lineup on the top of your screen. Jump back here to Kyle Corbett in the 17 car. He is the new points leader coming into today's race. He'll start alongside Deanna Shelton there. He has a 1-point advantage over our Daytona winner Tanner Sullivan. It's going to be interesting to see how he does, as I believe the green flag is already out. Oh, nope, it's not. They just got through that corner really well. And they are actually going to wave off the green flag this time, it looks like. Either that or they have a flagman on the back straightaway, which is something you normally don't see. I think they actually do. They have a flagman on the back straightaway of this track, so drivers know if a caution is out. So flagman's on both the front and back straightaways. Here we go. Green flag is getting ready to wave here. And here we go. Green flag is out here at Derek MotoDome in the Doritos 200. Let's see what this racetrack's going to bring to the table. Already Sean Galligan gets away, and they're 3 wide for 2nd. Cutting up it to the inside. Sanford rim riding with James McLeod caught in the middle. There's Chris Washer entering the battle as well, and already we've had our first caution. Canepa going to move by Jake Rogers. That's for 3rd. And oh, whoa, a good battle there to the stripe. Jace McLeod almost got alongside of Sean Galligan, but not quite. And Galligan will hang on. It looks like Zach Rogers may be the reason of this caution. Sam McMillan and Luis Hernandez also straggling behind. And we may have gotten away with just a spin. No damage really on the blue def Heek Toyota Tundra out of Michael Waltrip Racing. So we're under our first caution of the day. It comes out here on lap number 1, but doesn't look like it was a real heavy impacting incident. Let's jump back, take a look at a replay of what happened. Looking at the 15 of Zach Rogers, watch on the high side there. I think Chris Dollerton may get into the left rear of Luis Hernandez coming off of this corner. Right there, yep. And then Hernandez going to clip the 15 of Rogers. Kyle Matthews going to get a little piece of it there, our Talladega race winner, but then he's able to split the two and continue on. And then look at there, look at Matthew Daly. He's going to split them and make it through. And then, oh man, the two Turner cars could get through. Silver Fox and Poteet, and McMillan did not get any damage. He slowed up in time, did not hit the 15, and drove away. All three drivers involved basically drove away from the incident, Dollerton, Hernandez, and Rogers, and really nobody seemed to get that much damage. So that's the reason the yellow came out. Let's jump back now for our first restart of the day. Getting ready to go back to green flag racing. Sean Galligan is the leader. James McLeod in second. Third place is going to be Isaac Canepa. Fourth, Jake Rogers, and Kyle Thomas runs in fifth. Rest of the top 10. Chris Washer, Gene Sanford, Levi McIntyre, Jamie DeFelu, and our winner last week from Infineon, Andreas Allen in the 00 is, oh boy, they're kind of backing up here from Gene Sanford on back. That was some really good racing early on there. 3 wide racing, and they were able to keep it together. I was trying to find a preferred line of who was getting the better run. It almost looked like the middle groove was getting a good run with James McLeod running that area. He was able to hold off both Jake Rogers and Isaac Canepa and keep the second position. So that middle groove may be the fastest way around this racetrack. We'll have to see, though. Didn't look like anybody really had any problems with the heat in this track either, as far as their tires being slick or something. But here we go, green flag back out on lap 7 of 25. And it looks like the battle for second's going to heat up again. Isaac Canepa all over the back bumper of the Bass Pro Shop Chevrolet. Now that battle dies down. Here comes Chris Washer looking for fifth underneath Kyle Thomas, and I think the yellow may be out once more. As I said, this is a steep learning curve for these drivers, so I'm expecting to see quite a few yellows coming out during the course of this race. Maybe not as much in Mobile and Snickers competition, as these drivers will be taking part in some of those series as well. But the yellow flag is indeed out for the second time today. And this time it's going to involve Chris Dollerton and Dylan Young. Dollerton, who got into Luis Hernandez under the first caution flag, now involved here in the second caution. This apparently not a track that is to his liking, or at least to his car's liking, as he's in trouble. Fellow Toyota Dylan Young's in trouble, and oh, there's Eric Burton on pit road now. He may have actually had trouble getting to pit road, as here comes Leah Walker coming to pit road. William Duncan's coming down pit road. These look like their regular scheduled stops, and it looks like Eric Burton did not enter pit road in the correct area, tried going over the rumble strips, and may have gotten stuck there. But Dollerton comes in 8th in the point standings. This is not good for him at all, and Dylan Young also was involved, 27th in points. Caution flag is out. Let's see if they're going to make any pit stops here, any of the leaders. Looks like Galligan will be staying out, along with McLeod, Canepa, Rogers, and Chris Washer, the top 5. Let's jump back and see what happened to Dylan Young and Chris Dollerton to put us under the yellow flag for the second time today here at Derek MotoDome. Well, actually, we're going to look here at the Dylan Young and Chris Dollerton incident, but this was after the caution had flown. The caution, we find out, actually came out for Cody Lamas getting turned on the front straightaway, and we'll jump back and look at a replay of that in a moment. But let's see what happens here. This is under the yellow, remember. Dylan Young's right in the back bumper of Trent Dunham. Prudence Littlejohn's in the back bumper of Dylan Young, and I'm wondering, oh yeah, Prudence gets into Dylan Young. It kind of makes Young's car go really, really loose. He slides up the racetrack, and oh my goodness, that car's going to flip up in the air. Up into the catch fence goes the Glendon Toyota. Oh my goodness, look at the air that car's gotten. And then, oh my goodness. That car just flew up into the catch fence, and oh, Deanna Shelton's going to get a tiny piece of it. I don't know how bad the damage is for her. And then here comes Chris Dollerton. Nowhere for the 83 to go. And Cody Lamas, he's, oh, whoa. You know what? I think the rear of the 84 went over the hood of the 39, but I don't think he made any contact. Ooh, Zach Campbell nearly got clipped. Silver Fox. Oh, he's going to get hit. Silver Fox and the 4 going to get a kind of a whiplash effect there from the 84 of Dylan Young, who glitched for a moment there. And both Chris Dollerton and Dylan Young's cars come to rest on that rumble strip area, which drivers have had a lot of difficulty, even in practice, getting over or off of. But the caution flag's out. Let's jump back and see what actually the caution came out for with the 39 of Cody Lamas. Now here it was. It was going to be a 3-wide situation with Trent Dunham and Dylan Young. And I don't really think they gave each other a whole lot of room. Oh no, it was Danny Wells. He turns Dylan Young down the racetrack, and then Dylan Young got into the right rear of the 39 of Cody Lamas, and then Danny Wells is going to get a piece of it anyway in the Budweiser Chevy. But there you see Cody is able to spin it around. He turns it the correct way and continues on. But they did throw a caution for that nonetheless, and that was the yellow for the second time here today at the MotoDome. So let's jump back now to green flag racing, or see if these drivers are going to be making any pit stops under this, our latest yellow. Getting ready to go back to green flag racing once again. This time it'll be just past the halfway point. It'll be on lap 13 of 25, giving us a total of 13 laps to go here today. Sean Galligan out in front, McLeod in second, Canepa third, Rogers fourth, and Washer in fifth. Top 5 have really not changed since the drop of the green flag. Kyle Thomas is in 6th, McIntyre 7th, Sanford back in 8th, DeFelu in 9th, and in 10th place is Andreas Allen. As you see, Eric Burton, he is a lap down. He'll be coming up on the inside line. We did get confirmed word that Eric Burton tried to come down pit road. He went over the rumble strips and could not get off of them, so he had to teleport to pit road. Drivers that are currently listed as out of the race are Dylan Young and Chris Dollerton. They are the only 2 drivers who have retired from today's race so far. Coming here to the restart line, and we're ready to go back to green. Green flag is back out. Let's see how these drivers contend with the lap car of Eric Burton, who I think is slightly damaged, but appears to be up to speed. As look at James McLeod, he's going to use it as a pick. He's going to go to the middle between Sean Galligan and Eric Burton. What a move! 3 wide here. 2 of these cars battling for the lead. Oh man, they're close. They're really close. McLeod trying to draw even with the Miller Lite Dodge. Still bumping and rubbing doors side by side. Galligan leads that lap, and the caution flag's out again. Wow, McLeod nearly had him. What a move. But that yellow is going to kill all his momentum, as he may have been able to make the move on Sean Galligan. But the caution flag going to kill all that momentum. Wait a minute. No, they're racing it back to the line here. McLeod going to try, and not quite going to get it. I thought that the caution had come out before they crossed the stripe, but apparently it was just after they hit the stripe. So they raced it around one more time, and that time James McLeod was not able to get the momentum to get the lead away from Sean Galligan. And Trent Dunham, is he coming off pit road? Yeah, looks like Trent Dunham may have made a pit stop. He's got some damage, though. He may have hit the rumble strips or something. But what did the caution come out for is the question. Well, Deanna Shelton's on pit road. So is Zach Campbell. That's a couple drivers inside the top 10 in points, by the way. William Duncan completing service on his car. Danny Wells on pit road. Leia Walker still on pit road. Caution flag is out here for the 3rd time, and it may involve these drivers, Shelton, Campbell, and Wells, who come in 5th, 6th, and 7th in the current points, by the way. So yellow flag is out once again. Sean Galligan still leads. A couple of drivers have had to come down pit road, so now the question of fuel comes into play for these leaders. Will they have to pit at some point? Looks like Trent Dunham came down and made a pit stop, and he's fallen a lap down as a result, so he's got to be hoping these drivers are going to have to come down and pit so we can get back on the tail end of the lead lap. But the caution flag is out. Let's jump back, look at a replay of what happened. I believe a couple of drivers inside the top 10 in points may hold the answer to why this yellow flag has come out. Super, super close racing coming down here to the stripe. Deanna Shelton going to try and stick it right in the middle of Kyle Matthews and Danny Wells. And she's going to make some contact right here, I believe, with the right rear of the South Point Chevy. And up they go. Zach Campbell had nowhere to go as well. He's just kind of boxed in, and all four of them up and into the outside retaining, while Danny Wells' car goes airborne. Nearly went over the catch fence into the outer part of this racetrack. He actually gets caught in the catch fence. Shelton's car flips over. Campbell's car flips over. Danny Wells' car caught in the catch fence, whiplashing here and there. Oh my goodness. There's Campbell sliding down the banking on his roof. Shelton there barrel rolling down the banking in the Aaron's Dream Machine. And there's Danny Wells caught up on the outside of the well, not on the outside, but up on the safer barrier and the catch fence. Oh my goodness. Campbell's car finally comes to rest. Shelton's car, I think, had not even barrel rolled halfway down before she teleported to pit road. But the big question for me is, those drivers were coming down to the yellow. Who actually brought out the yellow flag? Was it Trent Dunham? Let's try and find out. Okay, somebody please explain to me what happened here. 4 wide between Jacob Lawler, rookie Brad Smith, Jake Cole, and Alex DeMarco. This is probably one of the strangest things I've ever seen. Watch right here. Jake Cole. Everybody's trying... Oh, wait a minute. Jake Cole was trying to come to pit road, I think, along with Trent Dunham and Leo Walker. And then watch what happens here. He's going to hit the rumble strip. He's sliding on the rumble strip. And then the car all of a sudden is going to... Yeah, that. That glitch. But then he barrel rolls. And then Leo Walker's missing. And now Jake Cole is missing. Okay. But Jake Cole tried to get to pit road and he messed it up. He didn't come down at the entrance part of pit road. I don't know if these drivers are realizing it. They're trying to cut pit road, but they're supposed to be indicating they're coming to pit road on the back straightaway. And then coming down so they don't have to go over the rumble strips. The rumble strips are there for the racing surface, not for drivers to try and hop over to get to pit road. And I think some drivers are taking the ultimate risk-reward and failing on trying to do just that. But the caution flag is out for the Jake Cole machine. The incident with Deanna Shelton, Danny Wells, Zach Campbell, and Kyle Matthews, that was after the caution flag had flown. So let's jump back now for what could possibly be our final restart of the day. Don't know for certain, but we're going to find out. We are getting ready to go back to green flag racing on lap 20 of 25. The list of DNFers is starting to pile up a bit as well. Listed a lap down currently are the cars of Trent Dunham, William Duncan, Leo Walker. Eric Burton is 2 laps down. Don't know if he's retired or not. But the drivers that have indeed retired from this race are Danny Wells, Deanna Shelton, Zach Campbell, Jake Cole, Dylan Young, and Chris Dollerton. And you think this race may put a little bit of an impact in the standings? Out of the race, the drivers coming first, or no, that came in 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th in the current standings that are out of today's race. So Galligan will be the leader once again. McLeod in 2nd, Canepa 3rd. And you got some lap cars between 4th place Eric Byrne, I'm sorry, Jake Rogers, and 5th place Kyle Thomas. Green flag back out. James McLeod, no lap car to be able to use as a pick this time. He's got to do it all on his own. He's given that 2 car a run for its money every single restart, and looks like he's not going to give up this time. Here he comes again. Ooh, almost got into the left rear there. Close call there, but he is still side by side with Sean Galligan. Can we race it clean and green to the checkers? I hope so, as now Galligan slides up, offers the inside line again to James McLeod, who doesn't seem to be able to make much of it. Off the corner, and the yellow flag is out one more time. And I'm not certain, but that may be all she wrote. It's taken us about 4 or 5 laps to get back to a restart, and there are a total of 5 laps to go. If we are lucky, we'll get a 1-lap shootout. But it looks like somebody spun on the back straightaway this time. And it appears to be maybe the 39 of Cody Lamas, who has been having a very difficult time of it so far in today's race. Lamas, who comes into this race 13th in points, had fallen outside of the top 10 in standings, and looks like he may fall a little bit further down through the standings heading into next week. But Galligan is the current leader right now, and these cautions have been his best friend. They've kept the 30 car of James McLeod at bay. But we're going to jump back now, take a look at a replay of what happened. I believe Cody Lamas may be the reason this yellow came out. And here it was. 3 wide up here, and Matthew Dowler's going to get into the points leader, Kyle Corbett. Kyle Matthews going to get collected again. Jacob Lawler, 2-time winner of the season. He's behind all this, but I think he somehow gets through. Corbett actually does a good job saving it, and oh man, the 39 goes over the rumble strips, wheel hops, and then the weight distribution is going to flip his 39 machine over. That car was up on its two left side tires, and I think with the fact that the driver was sitting over on the left side, the weight distribution was completely off balance, and that was enough to flip the 39 onto his roof. And Cody Lamas' car actually comes to rest on its roof on the back straightaway. Oh my. There's Matthews. It's been a tough day for him. And I don't know how much of an effect it's going to have on Kyle Corbett getting involved in an incident this late in the race, because he's the points leader, as I said, by 1 point over Tanner Sullivan, who I do believe is running ahead of him at the current time. So this is going to be quite interesting, as we are under the yellow flag here for what could be the final time today. Let's jump back now and see if we will get back to green flag racing or not. White flag has just been displayed over the hood of Sean Galligan, who has been able to hold off James McLeod this entire event. And it looks like Sean Galligan, for the first time since Season 5, will finally go back to Oreo Truck Series victory lane. If I'm not mistaken, I believe he was a multiple-time winner in Seasons 3, 4, and 5, when he drove the 77 and the 2, but he went winless all of Season 6. And it looks like he will go to victory lane here today. The driver that comes in 16th in points, this could really help him as far as trying to get up inside the top 10 in the standings here today. And I think we can safely say he got a lot of assists from those yellow flags that came out just about every time we went back to green flag racing, because James McLeod had a strong car. He could have really put up a fight, but every time that caution came out, he ran out of time of trying to be able to pass the Blue Deuce, as Sean Galligan will cross the stripe and he takes the Doritos 200 here today at the Derek MotoDome Speedway. And what a great win there for Sean Galligan, 1 week coming off his Mobile One Cup Series win at Infineon. And that puts him in line with Kyle Matthews and Jake Cole to try for the trifecta. Jake Cole lacking a Snickers Cup Series win, Kyle Matthews lacking a Mobile One Cup Series win, and now Sean Galligan lacking a Snickers Cup Series win to become the first driver to win a race in all 3 series here in Season 7. James McLeod, great run for him in second, though. This will help move him up through the standings as well, but I'm sure he wanted that win. Isaac Canepa, great run for that rookie in third. Fourth place is going to be Kyle Thomas, and Jake Rogers will finish out the day in fifth as everybody glitches again. That is really, really weird when they hit that particular part of the racetrack, but okay, Canepa's stuck. Let's take a look at our official top 10, as we always do. And we gave you down through the top 5. Good run for both Kyle Thomas and Jake Rogers. And how about Levi McIntyre? This guy, I'll tell you what, you can't seem to shake him. He's going to be back inside the top 10 with a 6th place run. Gene Sanford, now this is going to be interesting because Gene Sanford may actually take the points lead depending on where Tanner Sullivan ended up finishing, because she was only 4 points behind Sullivan in the standings, and she gets a solid top 10 run today. Chris Washer, great run in 8th, 9th place for Jamie DeFelu, and I always say if a driver gets their first career win, it seems to really spur them on the next few weeks. How about Andreas Allen? Picked up the win last week at Infineon, and a solid follow-up finish of top 10 here today at the MotoDome. Let's take a look at where the rest of our top contenders finished. There you see Tanner Sullivan, a good run of 14th place for him today. However, I think that Gene Sanford, with finishing in 7th place, 7 positions ahead, she will be the current points leader heading into next week's race. Let's see where Corbett officially finished. He'll lose the points lead with a 23rd place finish here today. After getting involved in that late incident, though, pretty good run for him. In 4th in standings, and 2-time winner Jacob Lawler. Really didn't talk about him at all today. He finished in the 26th position. Of course, we know what happened as far as 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th in points. Shelton, Campbell, Wells, and Dollerton, they all retired from today's event. So Kyle Thomas, who ended up finishing today in the 4th position, could move up as high as 5th in the current standings heading into next week's event. He and Levi McIntyre actually could both capitalize big time on the good runs they had today. Chris Washer as well in the 87. But this race is over, and Sean Galligan has claimed the victory in the Doritos 200. Hope you guys enjoyed today's race. Hope you guys enjoyed this track. It's brought about some really good racing, as long as we just can keep from going under the caution flag. But if you enjoyed today's race, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the crew today. Here comes your official results, overall point standings, rookie points, heading into next week's race, which is going to be at, I can't even pronounce it. It's a New Zealand track, though, a New Zealand road course, and that's sure to bring about some really exciting racing, as we're going to be testing out some more new tracks before the All-Star race. But we still got a Mobile and Snickers Cup Series event to come here today. Hopefully we'll have much better racing, as several of the drivers in this event are going to be participating in the Mobile and Snickers Cup Series events, so hopefully they've learned this track pretty well here today. We know Sean Galligan has, because he never gave up the lead once and takes the win here today. Well, folks, that's basically it here from the Derek MotoDome Speedway, and we will see you guys next time here on the NNSCRA Sports Channel, Offline Racing.